did over $1 million in retail sales. So just as our second year. So that's, I mean, there's been probably, you can count on your hand how many people have done that. So you're coming in to a really exciting unit. People at Mary Kay are going to know who you are. And so that's exciting for you. When you go to your parties, tell people, I'm so excited to represent you from a top area in all of Mary Kay Cosmetics. And then in the bold there, it says, I will match my time 100% with your efforts. And so we have, a large area with a lot of consultants. So I want to be hearing from you. Let me say that again. I want to hear from you. If I'm not hearing from you, it's going to be a lot harder for me to help you. So if you want to be successful, one of the best things you can do is to be calling your director and talking to her about what you're doing in your business. And then it says the 7 great steps to reach success. I want you to circle number 5 and number 6. Luckily, Mary Kay, there's really 2 skills you have to master, and it's doing the parties and doing the interviews. And so I want you to write down number 5, okay, next to number 5 where it says book and hold your first Power Start 30 faces in 30 days. Basically, I want you to book 10 practice parties. So write that down, 10 practice parties. Now, probably not all of those are going to hold. Probably 5 or 6 are going to hold. You have to kind of double book yourself because people reschedule and cancel. So, but if you do 10, if you book 10, probably 5 or 6 will hold, and that will give you your 30 faces. And the reason it's so important not to just do 1 or 2 parties, because the first one might be a disaster, or it might be great, but again, after your 5th or 6th party, you kind of got the swing of things. It's like, why would you only show up for work one day? You got to keep going. And then number 6 is complete your pearls of sharing. Pearls of sharing mean you're going to earn pearl jewelry for sharing the opportunity. And I want you to write 10 practice interviews. And I do have scripts to kind of help you do that. But basically, you're going to practice on faces and practice on interviews. In my very first month, you guys, I was new to South Florida. I didn't know a lot of people, but I still was able to accomplish these things. And I sold around $30,000 and had my first 2 team members. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just it was off my excitement. So again, just be excited and just say, I'm going to do these 2 challenges to jumpstart my business. Just like when you build a home, you got to build a strong foundation, and that's what you're doing with these. Well, if you flip over to the next page, you're going to see your important consultant information. You're going to see our office number there. You're going to see our conference call number. Our conference call numbers is used for any live call. So for example, we have marketing calls on Sundays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. We also have our unit call once a month, every Sunday at 9:30. So you really want to make sure that you're connecting and you're plugging into these things. So just make sure that you read all of that there. We also have personal growth calls that are available to you on Wednesdays as well. So again, just read all the conference calls and mark those times and those dates in your book. So again, Sundays and Wednesdays are our conference call days. And then we also have a daily hotline. How many of you could use a little pick-me-up? Why do people drink coffee in the morning? To get them excited. Well, we have an inspirational daily hotline you can call into and hear me every day just to kind of get you excited. And then you, at the end of the call, will leave me a message and let me know what you're doing in your business. Just saying, hey Amy, it's Susie, I'm so excited. I just booked a new party yesterday. I had this great guest coming to the meeting, or I had this potential team member from my party last night. Just kind of keep me updated. And then you're going to see some other hotlines there as well to hear from other top people in the company. And then we have our website, and you want to write this down. This is very important, www.amyallgood.com. And on there, you're going to see tons of training. Also, when you earn a prize, you're going to want to go in there and get your prize voucher. But make sure you go in there and learn that website, because there's tons of tools there to help you. And then we have our success meetings. And again, based on where you're located, you're going to want to find a local meeting for you. If you're in my city, we meet on Monday nights at the Crown Plaza Hotel from 7 to 9. Of course, you're going to want to get there early to set up for guests. Now, if there's any piece of advice I could tell you, if you want to work smart, how many of you are busy? All right, if you're busy, one of the smartest things you can do to work your business is bring guests to the meetings. This is a guest event. When you bring guests to the meeting, guess what? The director's doing all the work for you. She's going to sell for you. She's going to recruit for you. She's going to book parties for you. All you got to do is get people there. And as a part of your new consultant training, to graduate, you have to bring 4 guests your first month in the business. So make sure that you are inviting people and letting them know you need face models to come as a part of your training as a new consultant. And then also you want to have professional attire. In Mary Kay, we do not wear pants at company events. We wear skirts. You want to look professional and feminine. Please respect this. This is Mary Kay's heritage, and this is not up for discussion. This is respecting Mary Kay's heritage, because our beloved founder asked us to do 2 things: pass on this great opportunity and to wear a skirt. So please respect that. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. And then in bold there, it just says how strongly I feel about you going to the meeting. When I started started my business, my director said, never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, never miss a meeting. And I'm so glad that I was a good student and I listened to her, because I know I would not be here today had I missed any of those meetings. So again, the conference calls, the hotlines, and the meetings are ways for you to stay connected. This is the type of business, it's like, if you're plugged in, the light bulb is on. If you're not plugged in, you're not gonna stay around, okay? So don't go to Mary Kay heaven. We want you to stay around, so stay connected. Well, if you flip over on the next page, here's a checklist for you. So over the next couple weeks, there's gonna be a couple of things that you wanna focus on. Again, as I said in the beginning, you're gonna wanna go on that website, www.marykayintouch.com, and put in your consultant number and your password, and you want to fill out, you want to sign up for your website. That's very important. You want to set up for your ProPay so you can accept credit cards. And then number 2 is the most important thing, getting 10 parties booked. And I want you to write down 10 days from now, whatever that date is for you, 10 days from now, when you get 10 parties on your calendar, that is the most important thing, ladies, that you can be doing, because your date book reflects your future. If there's nothing in your date book, you're not really in business, are you? So again, get the 10 parties booked. And I'm not saying that's easy. I'm saying once you get that, then your business will become easy. But right now, you've really got to get that jump start going. And when you do that within your first 10 days, make sure you go on the website and get your prize voucher or turn that into your director, because you're going to have a really fabulous prize for doing that. And then number 3, make a list of everyone you know with skin. Number 4, make a product decision of what package of products you want to have on hand to service your customers. Number 5 and 6, again, circle those, because those are your income producing activities. Everything else is just to get the business up and running. So 5 is to do your 30 faces, and 6 is to do those 10 practice interviews to earn your pearls. Number 7 is to open up a separate checking account for your business, because you want to run your business and keep your money separate. Number 8 is to place your initial order and your products for your personal use. Obviously, you need to use the products head to toe so you can feel confident and be credible with your customers. Stay connected is number 9 by calling our hotline. It takes 21 days to form a habit. So set your phone alarm and call that daily hotline and leave me those messages every day. Number 10 is going to the success meetings with guests. Number 11 is filling out the goal sheet in the front. Number 12, put a big circle around number 12. That's reading Mary Kay's autobiography, which you will get either in your starter kit or in your very first order to really learn. I mean, you want to learn from the #1 entrepreneurial woman in the world, which was Mary Kay Ash, our founder, and really it'll give you the best understanding of what this is all about. So that's your checklist. So again, write down any questions that you have for your director. So go ahead and just flip over on the next page, and this is what you can expect from your classes in reorder business. And again, one of the first things you want to really be thinking about is, how many parties do I want to do? How many hours do I want to put into my Mary Kay business? Because it's just like if you were hired part-time somewhere, you want to figure out, okay, I'm going to work 10 hours a week, and I'm going to work on Saturdays and Wednesdays. So I want you to go to the middle one where it says 3 classes, parties, it's all the same thing. And I want you to write 3 plus 3 plus 3. This is a famous formula in Mary Kay, and then I want you to write down what that stands for. 3 parties, $300, and 3 interviews. Now, what do you think is the most important? The parties. Very good, because at the parties, guess what? That's where you're going to meet the people to sell to. You're going to get referrals. You're going to get future parties, and that's where you're going to meet your 3 people to interview. So you can apply this formula to any of these. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 5 plus 5 plus 5, and it's going to show you about how much that you could be making. Now, the 3 plus 3 plus 3, how many hours a week do you think that would take? Probably about 12 to 15 hours a week. So write that down, 12 to 15 hours a week. It's not going to take you 12 hours to do the parties, but you're going to have the phone time and the interview time to support those parties as well. So again, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 5, 6 hours a week, 25 hours a week up here. So kind of gives you an idea of what your activity and how much time it would take you. So go ahead, and once you figure that out, and again, it's very important to decide when you want to hold parties. For example, I do Thursday evenings and I do Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. So I fit in my 3 plus 3 plus 3 on Thursday morning, Thursday evening, Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon, and I double book. So I have 2 parties booked at Thursday night, the same time, because I know only one is going to hold. Trust me, guys. And on Saturdays, I have to book 5 parties for 2 to hold. So remember, you've got to overbook. If I book 3 parties, only one's going to hold, and then I'm going to be down here not making the money I need to make for my family. Okay? So flip over to the next page. You want to make a list of everybody you know with skin. So again, go through your cell phone. If you are doing a wedding, who would you write down. Again, I had to really think outside the box. When I started, I didn't know a lot of people, so I thought of people that I knew from college who had family down here, and I called them to get their mother's phone numbers. I talked to my husband now, but my boyfriend at the time, and guys that he worked with, and I called some of their girlfriends and their wives to start parties with. So really think outside the box, because you really can really come up with probably 30 people if you really start to think about it, or at least 10 women that will do those first 10 parties for you. And then it says, put a star by every name you think would be great in the business. And the best thing I can tell you is don't prejudge. I'm so grateful someone didn't prejudge me and say, well, Amy, you know what? Gosh, she's newly in love right now. She's getting ready to plan a wedding, and she's working at this, new job and 60 hours a week, and she's commuting and she's moving. She just doesn't have time for something. I'm so glad they did not prejudge me. So don't you dare prejudge. I know women who have 6 kids and are doing this and became directors. So just think of everybody. Okay, your job is not to go recruit anybody. Your job is to share the opportunity and allow them. So I always say, don't play God for anybody. All right, just share the opportunity and let them decide if this could be something that they would want to do for their life. And, just take a second right now, because remember, your goal is to get your first team member within your first week of the business. So think about the people right now that that need something extra in their life. Maybe they need extra money. Maybe they need, who are those people in your life? Just jot down the names that could use some extra cash. Who are those people who say, gosh, I really wish I could be home with my kids, or I never have time for this or this? Who needs that more flexible schedule? And think about women who just are kind of lonely, who maybe just need some positive women or some girlfriends, because that also is one of the top reasons people come into Mary Kay, is that personal growth and just to be around better women. So jot down, okay, hopefully you thought at least 3 to 5 people just now. If not, take a second to write those down and kind of pause this. And go ahead and do that, because these are the people you want to get set up those interviews with. So go ahead and flip over to the next page. And now you have your power tracking. This page is very important, because this is where you're keeping track of those 10 women to do those parties. And remember, you're going to get a really fabulous prize from your director if you get this done within your first 10 days. So 10 days from now, okay, so if it's the 1st, write down the 11th. That would give you 10 full days to be able to do this. So write that down, whatever that date is, and make sure you turn this into your director then. Also, your 10 practice interviews. Here's the 10 ladies. Once you do those interviews, you're going to keep track of that. So once you've decided how many parties and how many hours you're going to work and what nights those are, and you have your list of people, you're ready to make phone calls. Well, how do you think that you need to sound when you're calling people to book parties? Excited, enthusiastic, right? If you got to do some jumping jacks, okay, to get yourself excited, do that. And so when you're calling people, you've got to use the script exactly, okay, if you need to write that down, exactly the way it is. This is the part where people go and try to reinvent the wheel, and guess what? Whatever you're going to say is not going to be as good as what obviously has worked for 50 plus years. So one of the reasons this works is you're telling people, Susie, as a part of my training, I need to do 15 to 30 practice faces in the next 2 weeks. So because people will help you, because it's a part of your training. So very important to say that. And then if you flip over, the next page is going to be your Pearls of Sharing script. This is the same concept. Be excited when you call these people. This is how you're going to set up your 10 practice interviews. And again, it says, as a part of my training, I need to learn how to share a marketing plan with at least 10 people during the first 30 days. And I immediately thought of you. It's really simple. All you have to do is listen to my director. And then it says over coffee. If your director is local to you, I would do it over coffee. If she's not, you can do it over a 3-way call or via conference call. And you're just telling her that you're going to be quietly listening in the background so that you can learn, and that you understand this may or may not be something for her. And you're telling her that right up front, that it may or may not be something, but that you just need her help. And then again, if it's the conference call, go ahead and set that up. So find out from your director when you're available, when she's available to do those practice interviews. And if you're working with me, usually we do those Monday through Thursday from 12 to 4. All right, so now does everybody feel good about setting up your practice parties and your interviews? Okay, so if you don't, write down what else, more information, because it's really simple. You make your list of contacts, you put on a smile, and you read the script with your date book in front of you. It's that simple, you guys, okay? Well, the next The next thing I want you to look at is you have this here, and this is also on the website on amyallgood.com, so you do want to print this out in color. When you go to your parties, you want to bring this and again print it out in color so it looks nice for your customers. But women like to buy in sets and specials. So make sure that again you have this, and again you'll see the specials here and the different sets on there. And I'm going to just teach you guys to do something that I do at my parties that's really helped me increase my sales. Most of you have probably seen this roll-up bag before at your parties, okay? And so I'm going to teach you what I do at my parties is I always have 6 roll-up bags like this made up at all times. So I want you to really encourage you to always keep 6 filled roll-up bags, and how I fill them up is I put sets 1 through 6. So on your sheet of paper you can just make a note, sets 1 through 6 is what I put in here because that is the most popular sets. And what I do is when I have these, at the end of the party, after they've tried all the products, I romance my bag and I'm showing this off, and I say, okay, ladies, each of you have your own roll-up bag underneath your table. So go ahead and grab it. And what do? They see it, feel it, and touch it. You and I know as women are very impulsive buyers. Why do you think Target at the front of the store has all the cosmetics there? Because they know when women go see it and feel it, it's going to go in the cart. It's the same concept. When women are seeing it, feeling it, and touching it at your party, they're going to take it home and you're going to make a lot more money. Also, at the end of the party, you meet one-on-one individually with each person, and at the end of that party it's really important that you're doing that, because if you don't meet one-on-one, you're going to really not have the sales that you can have at Mary Kay. So when I'm sitting one-on-one, I'm going to say, ask her if she wants to take advantage of the specials. You're going to learn all this in training. But it's important because if she says, yeah, I want the 4 set special, then you can just take out the 2 sets that she doesn't want, and look how quickly you're going to be able to give her products immediately right there. And so you're organized. And if you have 5 other women waiting to meet with you, you cannot be wasting all this time and looking through all this product. The other thing I can tell you is that's where you're finding your team members, remember? And if you look like a big hot mess and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose those sharp women. They're going to leave your party, go on marykay.com and find somebody successful to sign up with. So please make sure you do this for a lot of reasons. Always keep 6 filled roll-up bags. Also, in between your parties, it's going to be very easy for you to prepare and set up and kind of keep track of your inventory that way as well. I know, let's say again, if I have a party Thursday and then I have another one Saturday, I can come home and I can look and say, okay, great, I sold 2 full roll-up bags at my party, so I need to replace 2 for my next party, and then I can just open up and say, okay, great, well, I sold a Miracle Set here and a Microderm and an eye cream, and grab that off my shelf. So it's very easy to keep track of all your products that way too. So if you want to increase your sales at your parties, if you want to look more professional and you want to save time at and in between the parties, I'd encourage you to do what I just shared with you with the roll-up bags. We'll go ahead and flip over to the next page, and now this is just showing you that you want to have your own roll-up bag made up. And typically what your director does is sometimes within your first month, she'll just stop by your house unannounced and just check your roll-up bag. I'm just kidding. But really, guys, it's so important that you have these roll-up bags made up at all time. And Mary Kay is so generous that if you look at pocket 2 with all the makeup, you can earn that makeup for free within your first 15 days by placing your order. So make sure that you know about that and keep that in mind. 15 days from when you sign your agreement, you want to get your very first order in to take advantage of all the free stuff as well. But make sure you're using all this. I use a lot more of that products. Again, you're going to sell what you use. So the more products you use, the more money that you're going to make. And then if you flip over, okay, here's all the fun stuff. We're going to learn all about the prizes, and I'm actually this will be kind of just like a quick little easy review for you as well. So remember, there's something you're supposed to do within your first 10 days. Do you remember what that is? You want to book those 10 parties. Now, I didn't say schedule them, you want to book them within your first 10 days. So you will get, and the prizes might change with your director, so it's okay, but like I said, it'll be a fabulous prize. And right now our fabulous prize is this Black Croc wallet that we're doing. So again, all you have to do, I didn't say hold them, you just got to get it scheduled, those 10 parties within your first 10 days, because that's setting you up for success. Also, do you remember what you want to do for 21 days in a row? You want to call the daily hotline. In the date book that you got in your kit, you'll have a beautiful date book cover to help you look more professional if you call the hotline 21 days in a row. And then remember, what do you want to do for your first 30 days? You want to do the 30 faces in 30 days. And when you do your 30 faces in 30 days, you're going to get this beautiful, if you can see, this Power Start pen. But I know all of you are overachievers. You don't want to just do the 30 faces. You want to do your practice interview. So when you do the 30 faces plus at least 6 of those practice interviews, you get your Power Start Plus pen. This is very significant. As you will see in Mary Kay, it's all about what you're wearing on your jacket. And then when you go to 20 consecutive meetings, you can earn your image ring. And remember, when you do your pearls, you get to get your, when you do your first 3 practice interviews, you're going to get your pearl earrings. And then you get your pearl bracelet to match. Okay, pearl bracelet when you do 3 more interviews. And then after you do that, you should have your first team member within your first 30 days to get your beautiful pearl necklace. All right, now remember also you want to bring guests to the meetings, and when you bring guests to the meetings you get your little bumblebees. So again, and this might vary a little bit for your director, but again, there's great prizes for just doing all the stuff that we talked to you about. And then remember what you want to do your first 5 weeks, your new consultant training. Remember, like that college, you're going to call that phone number and do all 5 weeks, and you're going to get fabulous prizes. You're going to get things like your money bag, things like your beautiful jeweled calculator. This is my favorite prize I earned. And then when you graduate, remember, you're going to get your graduation ring. So make sure that you're earning these beautiful rings, you guys, because even if you're not motivated by prizes, when you go to parties, you're going to do that. One of the other things that you're going to find in there is a tracking sheet for your new consultant training. And in your new consultant training, as you talked about, there's 5 weeks that you're going to want to do your training. And then in addition to that, there's 2 places for guests. Okay, so you want to bring 2 guests for your glamour night. And you're going to have face models for glamour night so you can learn, and then 2 more guests for the skincare night. There's also a place where you want to shadow your director to do a party. And again, if you're not in her same city, shadow your adopted director to be able to do that as well. So down here it has the 3 places that you want to shadow 3 parties. Mary Kay always said you want to book 10 parties to hold 5, and you want to shadow 3 parties of your successful director so that you can learn full circle. So again, you want to do your 5 weeks of training on the recording. You're going to want to shadow 3 parties during your first 30 days and bring at least 4 guests, 2 for glamour and 2 for skincare to graduate and really learn the full of the business. Also, you're going to also see on the next side, there's a couple year-long prizes. So you're going to maybe ask your director what year-long prizes she has. Maybe there's ways you can earn trips to the Bahamas or to the spa and have a spa day. So make sure you're reading all about that as well. Well, we're going to come back to this last page at the end, because we're going to go in the office to kind of talk to you about the products on hand. But if you just look in the back, there's a couple things back there that I want you to look at before we do that. And you have your weekly plan sheet. One of the ways you're going to learn during training is how to really plan your week. I like to color code mine, so I have family time, I have workout time, personal time, spiritual time, and then my Mary Kay time as well. So again, plan this out and really figure out, and every Sunday night you're going to want to pull this out and plan for your entire week and then communicate that with your family. The next one is a referral script. One of the ways to keep your business going is that you're going to continue to get referrals at your parties. So you're going to learn how to do that during week 3 of new consultant training, but make sure you keep this so you know what to call and say to those referrals. Also, we have this I'd love your opinion form, and you can find this on our website to print out more of these, but this is what you want to have your customers fill this out. And every year we do different promotions, so this might look a little bit different in your folder because this changes monthly and yearly, but really we just have kind of a tracking sheet so you can track your 30 faces. This year we're kind of doing, an Olympic theme, but you might be looking at it and it might be a little bit different depending on what month you're looking at it. But you always want to track your interviews and your faces, and you want to and then you get prizes each month when you complete one of those categories. And right now we're doing bronze, silver, and gold. So really my goal is that everybody has a place to win. So whether you want to do a little bit of Mary Kay, a medium amount, or a large amount of Mary Kay. And so right now that's kind of the bronze, silver, and gold. And down here on this page, it kind of shows you based on gold team, what's expected of you, silver team, and bronze team. So what activity that you'd want to be doing. So typically, if you want to be a director, gold team, silver team is car activity, and bronze team is, just to make that extra money. And then on here, we always keep the events coming up. So remember those 4 events we talked about you want to go to. You'll always know what's the next one coming up. And again, just our year-long promotions and our monthly promotions. So, and again, all of these will be featured on the website, up to date, current at all times. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to head on into the office so I can show you the products, and we can just talk a little bit more about how all that works to have products on hand. Welcome to the pink office, and as you can see, I kind of keep all my fun stuff here. When you go to seminar, it's all about the ribbons and how long your ribbon is, and so you'll get all that when you go to seminar and career conference, and the star prizes when you're a star consultant, which you're going to hear about in just a couple minutes. So you can pick all your prizes, whatever you want, and then of course you want to put up your goal posters that we talked about at the beginning. So again, have fun and put all your stuff on there. And then I wanted to show you, here is the products. Of course, it makes a lot of sense. You want to have everything on hand for your customers. So I have everything here. These little things are also great to keep like your beauty books in, your lookbooks, sales tickets, hostess brochures, also to keep like your little samples, and makeup items is really great there. Always to have your giveaways, made up. And then down here, you're going to see how we pack for the skincare parties. Like I taught you, you always have your roll-up bags made up at all times. I do. These have for normal to dry skin, and then combo oily, your foundation. So it's just in a suitcase, so you really have everything there that you need. And then over here, you're going to see some of the other products that I have on hand. So as you can see, majority of it, is skincare, because that is the bread and butter of all the products. And then just some outgoing stuff. So if you have orders, that you need to deliver, or somebody's coming to pick something up, and then eventually, prizes, you won't need to worry about that right now. But just to kind of give you some ideas of how you can organize. But the most important thing, of course, is to have the products on hand to service your customers, which we're getting ready to talk about. All right, well, we're going to reference this last page in the middle of your folder that says inventory, your most important business decision. And if I was with you right now, I would probably ask you, why do you think it's important to have products on hand? And I'm sure right now, if you think about that, you'd come up with a couple different things. For one, you probably think, well, I know myself, and I know when I go somewhere, I want to have the products right away. I want to try things. I want to be excited about it. And like we said earlier, cosmetics is a very impulsive buy for women. But one of the main reasons, obviously, is that, you're going to sell more. If you have the products on hand, the customers are going to be more likely to take it home right away with them. In fact, consultants who have products on hand have 68% higher sales than consultants who don't. So really, by choosing to have products on hand to service your customers, you're just setting yourself up for success. And so think about it. If you go to a party and they have everything there, they tried the product, their face falls in love, they're excited, they get to take it home right away. And what are they going to go home and use? The Mary Kay. And so 2 to 3 months out of they're going to wash it down the drain. Guess who they're going to come back to? They're going to come back to you to get more of that. You start building that residual income business, which is really exciting. The other thing, let's say you don't have everything on hand, they have to go home. What are they going to use? Whatever is in their bathroom. And when they get the products 2 weeks later, do you think they're as excited? No. So now what's going to happen is they might say, oh, you know what, let me just put Mary Kay underneath the sink, and when I'm out of my Clinique, I'll get to my Mary Kay. Well, 2 months they're out of Clinique, they forgot Mary Kay was underneath the sink. Haven't you thrown out products that are underneath your bathroom sink? Of course, we all have. So unfortunately, that becomes a one-time sale. Or they can misuse the product by saying, oh, I still have my Oil of Olay moisturizer, now I have my 3-in-1 cleanser, and they mix it and use the products. They're not going to see the results. In fact, they could even break out. So if you've ever had somebody say, oh, I broke out from Mary Kay, it's probably because they were mixing the products or not using it correctly. And so now, not only do you lose that customer, but she's going to cancel her follow-up party, and then she's going to go tell her girlfriends. Because what do we do as women? We tell people, if you see a good movie, you tell people. But if you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you tell way more people about your bad experience than you do your good experience. So we want to make sure everybody is out there sharing, the Mary Kay in the right way. So you're going to have the products on hand will help you increase your sales. The other part of it, ladies, is how, and let me just kind of go back to that part, because again, if you have the products on hand, you're going to have about 85% chance that customer comes back to you. On the flip side, you're going to have about 85% chance that they don't. Mary Kay has almost 100% customer loyalty. That is really exciting for you and I. That means the customer does a lot of work to make the #1 brand, which we've been for the last, decade or two. And so they're making that great for us. They're doing all the great, catalogs, making the great product. And so as long as you and I are doing our job, our customers are going to come back to us over and over and over again. And then how many of you are busy? One of the biggest reasons I chose to have a full store on hand is because I was so busy. I did not have time to be running around delivering products. You and I are not the mailman. We're not the UPS guy. I know that I certainly don't want to do that, and you don't want to do that. So when you're able to go to the